Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Dylan Knostman here with Calf Kick Sports, and I am joined by a very, very special guest today, Niko One Love Samsonidse, ahead of his fight next weekend at OKTAGON 62, bigger than ever, massive, massive event at Deutsche Bank Park in Germany. How are you feeling today, man? How are you doing?
Man, I'm happy to be here. I'm really looking forward for next week because it's gonna be historical. It's gonna be amazing. I'm feeling good. Looking forward to fight, being back in the cage, and it's gonna be huge in a stadium like never ever been before, like in Europe, 60,000 people. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to it.
Yeah, well, you kind of answered my first question. Obviously, for those who don't know, one of the largest events of all time is going to go down next Saturday in Germany, hosted by OKTAGON. And you're going to not only do you get to walk out and fight in front of that many people, it's in your home country. What does it mean to be able to represent, Germany in Germany at such a massive event that's going to be, a spectacle for the world to see?
Well, man, I'm really happy to be able to be there, to represent, to be in front of so many people. I mean, I've witnessed the growth of the sport. Also, right now in Germany, it's exploding and so good, and I'm so grateful for it to be part of it. And yeah, I'm happy to represent and to put on a proper performance and a good show.
Absolutely. So, being from Germany, how much was combat sports a part of your life growing up? Obviously, you said you've kind of seen the growth and explosion of the sport, but you know, seeing it from kind of your beginnings, how much was it a part for your life growing up? I should say.
Well, it developed a lot for me. I mean, I was doing a lot of different sports. I was doing playing football, swimming, did a little bit of judo for 1 year when I was small, but then I started with some kind of Thai boxing, but went
Mhm,
over to more grappling based when I was 15. But back then, actually, like the sport, especially in Germany, was really not developed. Also, if
mhm,
you look at the events there, I mean, back in the days, this was really rural. There were not like it was not really professional, and um, actually, the last couple of years, it started to grow and develop, and also to get the recognition of society nowadays. A lot of people uh, they have a feeling for the sport. They have been to events. They know what the sport is. You don't have to explain yourself anymore. And back in the
mhm,
day, it was more like you had to explain MMA as sport as itself, and you sometimes you even had to justify why you're doing the sport because yeah, it was a little bit viewed more from a negative perspective, and
yeah,
nowadays you really can feel the recognition, and uh, that's something I really appreciate, and I'm grateful for being a part of this journey because yeah, MMA is getting huge, it's getting big,
mhm,
it's in front of so many people. Also television, like big German television will televise it. So
mhm,
yeah, it's amazing, and it still feels a little bit unreal in this stadium. But I mean, I've been part, I think, already in 3 octagon events fighting, and also being as a coach there at a lot of other different events. And
mhm.
yeah, it's such a nice crowd scenery. I mean, Octagon is putting a really good show, like putting everything really good together. And as we can see, they're doing their job well because I think it's mostly completely sold out as far as I know.
Yeah, that's I think as far as I've heard, it is yeah, just like 98% sold out, which I mean again, we don't see events this big almost ever. So for them to do that is incredible. I can't wait as a fan myself. So talk to me a little bit about life outside the cage. I know you have a master's in social work. You're also the kids coach at Spitfire Gym Berlin. So are you still active in social work? Is that kind of are you saving it for after your career in fighting or just tell me a little bit about
Mm,
outside.
Well, I study social work. That's right, and I did a lot of projects with children, with
Mhm.
refugees, stuff like this. And I used to be also the children coach at Spitfire Gym. Now, actually, the last 2 years, I was focusing more on my sports career.
Mhm.
I mean, I still did some workshops, some social work events,
Hmm.
teaching some children because I really love that, and I will combine that for sure. My dream
Hmm.
actually is to combine the social work and the sport after my career, because I see there is a lot of potential, a lot of unused potential, because the sport, if it's being taught well, then I think it can be used as a tool to develop a lot of good values like respect, discipline, which are really, yeah, needed for the younger generation, or really important. And I think MMA, because it's so attractive, such a growing and interesting sport, it can be a perfect door opener for the younger generation. And um, if you're an MMA practitioner, you're seen with different eyes
Hmm.
from the younger ones, and you get a different kind of respect, which, yeah, gives you the possibility to work in a proper way with some of the young ones.
Hmm.
So that's what I'm aiming for after my career. But before I got some tasks.
Oh yeah.
Um, but yeah, that's like what I really love. I like to work with children,
Hmm.
because I think it's a really good work, to be honest.
Absolutely, it's so important, and like you said, inspiring that next generation through something like mixed martial arts is such a good way to combine, your passions in multiple ways. So I love hearing those plans for after your fighting careers. So I had the opportunity to interview one of your teammates at Attila Korkmaz a couple weeks ago, and he had nothing but incredible things to say about Spitfire Gym. Tell me from your perspective, what makes Spitfire so unique, and what is your kind of your favorite parts about training at that gym?
Well, actually, now Spitfire opened, I think, Europe's biggest facility.
Hmm.
It's huge. There are a lot of good guys.
Hmm.
It's a good team feeling. Eat Mook, the head of Spitfire, is doing a really good job putting everything together. Now we got a lot of good coaches like
Hmm.
Gleison Tibau, for
Hmm.
example, the old UFC veteran. So yeah, there's coming something big actually, because like Berlin's not been so on the MMA map in Germany as other
Hmm.
cities, you could say, and I think there's coming a lot more. So yeah, Spitfire's gym is like, I've been there since, I don't know, 10 years. And
Yeah.
uh, yeah. Also, for example, yesterday I did their training, and I had my hard last session. It was
Hmm.
like a circuit, and the guys were doing sparring, and they all stayed afterwards cheering for me, like creating a scenery of a fight.
Hmm.
So it was really amazing. Um, and I'm really, yeah, um, interested what's going to happen with the gym and with the growth actually in
Hmm.
Berlin. Um, yeah.
Yeah, that's awesome. I mean, it really seems like Spitfire is doing the right things to not only help the athletes they have, but also grow the sport beyond the current roster in Germany, which is amazing. So, you mentioned your grappling background a little bit. Obviously, you're a fantastic grappler yourself. You got multiple submission wins to your credit during your career. What's your favorite submission? And then, for the average fan, what do you think? What do you wish the average fan knew more about grappling? I know it's kind of misunderstood from a lot of people. They think it's boring or they don't quite understand. What do you wish the you know people knew about grappling from that inside perspective?
That's a nice question, actually. Um, so first of all, like my favorite submission, I'll go with the rear naked choke, because it's the
Hmm.
one I love to get the back and then choke the people from behind, because like that's what works for me the most.
Hmm.
And mm, what I think is the most difficult to understand is just like the idea of positioning,
Hmm.
um, in terms of like what gives you an advantage, what's a disadvantage. I'm just talking about the basic understanding, because with this kind of understanding, for the people who are watching it, it makes it way more interesting, because
Hmm.
if you don't have this basic understanding, like most of the people will be just watching, and will be like, oh, okay, what they're doing, they're just hugging, but
Yeah.
and most of it is really methodical. Like there's always a plan, a tactic behind, where do I want to go, what's my plan, do I want to hold the position, do I want to
Mhm.
advance, um, why do I punch, why shouldn't I punch in this position, and so on. So it gets
Mhm.
so many, it has so many layers, it's so complex. And once you're in the material, I think it's, yeah, it's
Mhm.
never ending process of learning.
Absolutely. That's what I love about jiu-jitsu myself is even the best people in the world have so much to learn still. There's always something new to understand or a new technique or way to do something or all that. And also to talk about what you said, I think the grip fighting is really a big thing to pay attention to is where people's hands are going, where the wrists are being grabbed, how they're using the hands to grip. And that'll often like lead to, different positions and how to understand those positions. But um you're facing Daniel Torres this weekend. Very tough competitor. Has been on the European scene for a while. What do you know about Daniel Torres? And when you're approaching a fight, do you do a lot of tape study? Do you really, really study your opponent, or do you kind of focus more on your own game plan and how you're approaching that fight yourself?
Well, Daniel Torres, he's a really experienced fighter. He fought before in KSW. He was champion there. Now he had 2 fights in OKTAGON, and he's really like a dangerous fighter, you could say, because he got immense power. Um, so he's a good challenge, but I'm never backing down of challenges,
Mm,
and I'm looking forward to it. And I did my studies. I did my tape studies. I like to watch the opponent to get an idea or feeling, but then make my plan and don't get crazy about it and watch it all the time.
mhm,
Just have my plan. Maybe I rewatch it a couple of times, but not too often, because then, like you said, I want to focus on me and on my movement still. I have the other person in my head, but I mean, they also can change their style a little bit. So I still make my plan, but I think
mhm,
as being a fighter, you always make a plan, but it's so important to have like um, different alternatives. So,
mhm,
like, let's say plan A is not working out, then have plan B, plan C, plan D, and not get like anxious because the one way is not working, because in the end
absolutely.
kind of problem solving. And I'm trying till I get it like either way done.
100%. I agree. So, if you go out, you get the finish, what's next for you in 2024? Would you like to fight again by the end of the year? Are you looking to maybe take the year off and kind of start fresh in 2025? What would be the ideal finish for the next few months if you get the win this weekend?
Well, to be honest, I think because it's already October,
Hmm.
I don't think I'm gonna fight then this year. I'm gonna put on a proper performance,
Hmm.
and then we go on negotiations and see what's out there, what could be interesting for next fight. Um, but yeah, I'm focusing right now on this one, and afterwards, I'm planning then maybe
Absolutely.
vacation or going somewhere to train. Um, but now I only have like next Saturday in my mind.
100%. So, for somebody watching this, finding out about you for the first time, what is one reason that people should tune into your fight specifically next Saturday at Octagon 62?
Well, I'm always going for the finish, trying to like put on a show, um, put on a highlight reel, uh, either with kicks, knees, punches, or on the ground.
Hmm.
I'm not wasting any time, so tune in. I mean.
Hmm. Absolutely. No, I can't wait. So, last but not least, do you have any sponsors, teammates, coaches you'd like to thank or shout out ahead of this fight?
Well, first of all, thank you
Mhm.
for the talk, and
Absolutely.
shout out to my teams. We were talking about Spitfire. I'm also
Mhm.
representing Sayato Gym, another
Mhm.
gym in Berlin, who are also really doing a great job, who were supporting me really good. Two of them will be in my corner, Kami Bazini and Ami Tarimzat, and then also Gleison Tibau, which I'm really looking forward. And
Mhm.
then, yeah, shout out to all my teammates, to all my trainers, family, friends, and supporters. Yeah, thank you. I'm really grateful. I really appreciate it. One love.
Mhm.
Yeah, all the best.
Awesome. Well, make sure everybody to tune in next Saturday to Octagon 62 live from Deutsche Bank Park in Frankfurt to watch Niko Samsonidse versus Daniel Torres. It's going to be a fantastic fight. And I mean, 60,000 fans in attendance. Can't get better than that. So make sure to tune in on DAZN or Octagon TV. And Niko, thank you so much for joining me today. I can't wait to watch your fight next weekend.
Thank you. All the best. Have a good one.
Thank you so much.